It says no biking and no ATVs, but it did not say no motorcycles. All right, we're back, and I got the axle spools on. They're actually custom, and the reason why I say they're custom is because the original screw. So pretty much what happened was I got an 8mm, which it really doesn't matter because with the swing arm you have to drill in it anyway. But I made an error with drilling it. What I did was I got an 8mm, and it's supposed to be a 5/16 hole, but it pretty much was like the same exact size, a little bit bigger than the actual spool, the screw. So I couldn't really thread it in because my idea was to have like a slightly big hole. I mean, a slightly small hole, and then I was gonna like thread it, but that didn't really work out. So what I had to do was change the actual screws. So I had got I think a 3/8 on one side, and the other side I don't even know what it is. That was a bolt that came with another bike that I had. So for now, that's what it is. I got the bike right here, so I'm gonna flip it. So yeah, I flipped it, and this is like my own little area where I'm gonna be doing stuff for the bike because it's actually got heat in here. So yeah, this is what it is. So this one I had to like custom make, and this is working. But I did get 2 of these because I wanted to look a little bit cleaner like this, because this bolt right here I got from the hardware store. And this is what it pretty much what the bolt is from the other one that I had, but it was too small, so I did this to make it a little bit cleaner. But on the other side, the same thing happened. The hole was too big. I guess it was an error on my end. So this side is clean. This doesn't even look like it's custom at all, but this I pretty much custom made that. And on the other side it's just like that, at least temporary for now. But they hold the bike, and speaking of holding it, I had to get it because of this right here. This was for the spools, and what happened was I meant to get the one that holds the swing arm, just the swing arm, which would be just this part right here. They have those, but the Harbor Freight that I went to, and yeah, you can get this from Harbor Freight for about like $40. Sometimes they're on sale because sometimes they're like $30 something. But in my case, I didn't really get much of a sale, so I got it for like, it's still a sale, because these things at like Cycle Gear, they cost like about like between like 60 to like $80, and I don't really see the point in getting that because they all do the same thing. So I got that. You can even get them like even cheaper, because you can get them like off of eBay. It's all the same thing. It's just a stand, as long as it's rated at a good amount of weight. So what we're gonna do today is I gotta take all this stuff off. Oh, I didn't really mean to kick it like that, but but yeah, we gotta take all that stuff off so we could change the brake pads, and we might have to take the fairings off to get to that reservoir. Yeah, we had to take this off to get to the reservoir, because pretty much I gotta drain the whole system and then put brake fluid in it. Now I don't have .3. I'm gonna use .4, but it calls for it. As you can see up here, it says, oh, what does it say? It says .4, .3, or .4. So I got .4. Same thing. It's just .4 is rated, I guess has a higher boiling point or something like that. So as long as it's not like .5 or anything like that, because those I believe are silicone based or whatever. But I mean, you can read about all of that, the different brake fluids, but just know that this bike can only take .3 and .4. You'll be okay. All right, pretty much I took it off. I didn't drain this yet. I'm going to do that probably last when I start doing the brake pads, so I can get whatever fluid is in there. But I dumped all the fluid out of here first, and then I let this drain out in this bucket. And this is pretty much what happened right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a slow leak right here, and it's getting a little bit of air in the system. So that was caused by this tab. Where is it? Dang, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little like tab that holds it right here. This thing, this piece of metal that sticks out. You got to be careful with this right here. You probably can like put some rubber or something on the inside, so that it just won't like rub against that because of the vibrations. And I also found out why my pedal was messed up, and this is loose. So I gotta take this master cylinder off and then re-screw it back onto this thing right here, because that came off. And I thought it was a weak brake pressure, but it was this. And pretty much all it was doing was that pretty much activates that. So pretty much all it was doing was, instead of it like actually like threaded onto this, is another thing right here. You can't see it because I don't have a light, but it's threaded on the actual master cylinder or booster or whatever you want to call it, and it threads onto that, but that kind of shook loose. So I had to find out a way to put that back on there. But all it was really doing was giving me like 0.5% of brake instead of giving me the whole thing. So, but I noticed that that was like loose. This bolt right here was loose a while ago, so pretty much that probably contributed to it. So pretty much rule of thumb, just go over every bolt on this bike just to make sure that all the bolts are together. You can even put some Loctite on it. I put some Loctite on these things right here because I was kind of iffy about those. But yeah, go through the whole bike. Mostly, I believe you could put blue thread locker on pretty much anything except for the engine bolts. Those you might want to put the red locker on, or pretty much you could put a red locker on anything that you're not going to really be like taking apart a lot. But stuff like this, you might want to put the blue one on just in case, because you might want to take those off. But I mean, you know, if you're never going to work on your bike or whatever, then I guess you could use the red one. But I don't like permanent stuff like that. And the only way, well, it's not really permanent, but the only way you could really take that off is you gotta like heat it up and all types of stuff. It'll pretty much turn into a stuck bolt. So you're going to take hours or whatever to try to get that off if you don't have the right tools. And I don't have the right tools. Well, at least here. But yeah. Oh, and the tools. This set right here I got from Harbor Freight a while ago. I use this. This is like my travel tools, because I don't really keep all of my tools here. So this one I kind of bounce back and forth for my work or whatever. I'm thinking about getting, because this is the 200 something set. I was thinking about getting the 3 set, so I can have 2 of them, because I mean they're cheap. Like, I mean, they're pretty okay. This brand is pretty okay, and they also have warranty, because I broke a few things, not in this set, but the other sets that Harbor Freight has, and they warranted me them. So so yeah, if you're not really too much into Snap-on or whatever, those brands, because it's pretty much the same thing, because all the metal comes from China anyway. But I mean, unless you're a brand hoe, I mean, these work pretty much just as good. So if you want to use these, this set right here cost me about, I think, a little bit over $100. I got it on sale. I think this originally cost like $200 or something like that. It's near $200 or $150 or something like that. It's not too bad. I mean, you get everything. I mean, you get your needle nose, your dikes, you get adjustable wrench. I don't really use that, but I use it mostly for the sockets and such. And you know, not really a bad investment if you don't have any tools, because like I said, this is like my little travel set. And it's been pretty good to do this whole job, this brake job and such. Any part on the bike, I never really had to use anything besides it, but besides this kit. But yeah, this is the brake, this is the rear. So let me get back to work. All right, and we're back again, and I got it on there now. This is what it looks like. And I fixed this, so that's all good. And also I changed this. This is I changed this a while ago. I did make a video, I just didn't post it. Yeah, a lot of my videos been backwards if you haven't noticed. But this right here, all it is pretty much, this hooks up to where is it? These two right here, which is your brake light, your rear brake light, which lights that up. I had broke that a while ago, and I fixed it with this. I'll send you a link if you ever need this, because I hate these because of how it is, because it's pretty much like unprotected solder points here, and this has to move around. So yeah, those will break. Mine's broke a while ago, but I finally fixed it. Now when you buy this, it doesn't have this connector, so you'll have to solder your old connectors like this, because it has a harness, but it works fairly good. I'll give you a description for that, because when those break, you're kind of, you know, SOL. So this is a better fix. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just you have to solder these connectors back on it. The one that it comes with, it comes with like a harness. So the good thing about these Chinese bikes, all of them are pretty much made the same. So this came off of probably some random 50cc or something like that. And yeah, you just have to solder this and you connect them back to those. So this part's done. Pretty much all you have to really do is just swap it over. Make sure that this is good and that's good. You are supposed to replace those, but I don't have any of them. So for now, they work, and they weren't that worn. So yeah, make sure that it's all together. One on top, one on bottom, plus this little cinder thing. And how I routed mine's, same thing. I use this old, you know, kind of to keep it together, I guess. And I looped it through that, but I use this. This is what you're supposed to do. Make sure that it's in this thing. That's pretty much how that works. Mine wasn't in there, so if it's not locked in, it might pinch it. Now this one, I'm not really. It might not pinch because these are steel lines, but you know, just as a precaution, I still looped it through that, and then I looped it back here, and then I looped it here, and there's a little like tab thing that blocks it so it won't move the opposite way. So that's just how I have mine. And the next thing we're going to do is change those brake pads. All right, now we got this off. Pretty much what you have to do is push this back. But since these are not going to be used again, you can use like a flathead, or what I did was I used needle nose pliers and just push that piston back in. And then it's free to move this back and forth. So what do you do next is you get you a Allen, and I got this thing right here, and you pretty much add this with one hand. You take this out so that you can get the pads. So when you take this out, make sure before you take them out that you see how this goes. So it goes like that. And then when you take this out, then you can get a better view of what it looks like on the other side. And before, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was just about to tell you, this clip right here has to go up. So I'll show you that. I messed that up. That's the clip that I wanted you to see, but it came out just before I said it. So I'm going to fix this real quick, I might put the new pads in, and then I'll show you how this clip goes. And also, to give you a comparison of what I did, you see this right here is bent. So yeah, we're taking these off. Just be careful. Oh, I almost dropped this one. Yeah. So don't do that, because I was riding like that. Good thing I didn't go far, but yeah, do not do that. All right, and we're back. So pretty much with this clip, oh well, I gotta do this with one hand. All right, with this clip, it pretty much sits like that. So it sits flush up. You can see right here that it's pointed down inward or against that little wall part right there. So it'll look like this, and then it'll sit like this evenly within this little box. At least that's how I remember it. And also inside, you can't really see it because I got the pads. Inside there's a little box too. Little box, little shape. Well, at least that's how I remember it, how that goes in. So it'll be a little box here in this little area, and then there'll be another little box inside, like right there. And what I'm talking about is, so you get a better understanding, is this thing right here. It's like a little box, so it goes around like that, and then inside it's like that too. So you get it like that, then it's pretty good. And then you can grease the slides, this part right here, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, they're very easy compared to something like a car. So, and this is just a single piston, so you could just push in one side. Don't use vice grips or anything. Just use the C clamps or whatever. In my case, I didn't have to because I was taking the pads off. But if you're salvaging your original pads or whatever, make sure you take your time and you use the right stuff, because a vice grip or what I did with the pliers, it's not going to work unless you want to replace it like I'm doing here. So it don't really matter. So yeah, now we're going to just put that back on and we should be good. Now the hard part, because this piece right here has to go into that right there. You have to line it up, and that's going to take 2 hands to do. And then you got to put this spacer back on, and while in tandem, sliding this back in and making sure none of that crap comes out. Because well, it's easy when you got a stand. I have a stand now, so it's going to be a little bit easier to do. But if you don't have a stand, doing all of this simultaneously, you really need 4 hands to do. But it is possible to do it by yourself, but it's a lot easier if you have more hands, especially when you have to take all this stuff off. Because you got to make sure that this is still on, that dust cover in there is still on, while feeding this through, making sure that the wheel is straight, and making sure that this goes onto the rotor, and while it's also in here, the caliper is held down in here. So yeah, you got to simultaneously do all of that. Hopefully I can do it under 15 minutes, but we'll see. I'll be back. Okay, now we're getting to the fun part. Now, I got this coffee mug. Some people use plastic water bottles, but I like to do this because it's how convenient it was to make. And this right here, you just need a clear hose. So pretty much when you do a flush, or if you do a bleed, you pretty much, all you do is you get a socket here. My socket was 5/16. This little thing right here, which is very hard to find. And you plug it up to here, and then you have this. Pretty much what this is, and you want to kind of have it like airtight, but mine's is a little bit open. But pretty much this is pretty much where the brake fluid goes, because you don't want no air to go backwards. But in my case, that didn't really happen. So pretty much what you do is you leave this closed, and you pump the brake like so, I've already done it. So pretty much you want to get it like this. But mine's is already, I already blended. But you just pump it. Usually it'll be very loose. It wouldn't be this firm. This is how you want it. But it'll like drop. It'll be very loose. So you want to pump it, 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 hold. And once you're holding, you crack that open a little bit, and then you'll see like fluid go through, and then you'll see bubbles. Now the object is to. Okay, what I was saying was, you pretty much want to do this process so that you don't see any more bubbles. Alright, and I am done with this. Pretty much is easy. You just make sure you got these two on like that. You bolt that up. And then you got your little tie down right here. Then you run it down into the caliper, same thing. You got your two seals. Oh, there you go. You got your two seals, and then you bolt that up. There's another piece to hold this, but I don't really have that anymore. But it's pretty secure. It's not really gonna do much moving around because it's steel or whatnot, and it's not really that long. If you got an extra long you might have to like get that other piece if you don't have it. Pretty much it's just a bracket, and it holds this like that. That's only if it's too long, but in my case it's pretty much secure. That one secures it. So yeah, you gotta drain this out and put some more in it, and then same thing like you do the rear, you have to bleed it. But that's pretty much it. Just swapping out the cables is pretty easy, but you just make sure that you bleed it so you don't have any air in the system. So pretty much easy fix. I mean, it's an easy dress up thing, and you get better cables too, I guess. I wasn't going to change them, but since I had to change my rear, I might as well just, you know, change the front too. Because I always wanted like braided cables. Are they any different? Probably not. Maybe maybe it's just wishful thinking. I don't know. Some people swear by them, but we'll see. But I do feel a firmer. They do feel firmer. At least for the rear. We'll have to really ride it and see. But it does feel firmer. It feels a lot firmer than when you first get the bike. So I don't know. Maybe it's you know, it's a big debate. Maybe they do, you know, but it would be like slight performance increase. But I mean, they look cool. So yeah, I have to test this out though. So we'll be back. Okay, we're finally done. It took about an hour. So we got this all set up. You see the pads, the blue pads right there. It's a little bit, the chain's a little bit tight, so I gotta probably adjust that later on. But I mean, brake pedal feel, ooh, that's feeling good. And now we got the front too. So I got the front going backwards like that. So I got that all hooked up. Brake feel, ooh, that's feeling pretty good. So now all we gotta do is just test it out. But for now, that's it. YASHIroku out. Oh yeah, we gotta test that rear brake. So yeah, that right there, I'll give you a description if you need another one of these cinders. So you just press the brake. Let's see if it works. Oop, 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 oop. All right, there we go. So, yep, it works. And let's check the front. Now for the front, the cinder is this thing right here, and then there's a little thing right there. Yeah, that breaks. So that breaks real easy, because I remember I had to change that before on another Chinese bike. But yeah, just be careful with the front with this one. Just be careful with that, because once that breaks, that's it. You gotta get another one. But they're inexpensive, so yeah. YASHIroku out.